Information technology is an enormous issue that companies face. And it explodes quickly. You go from your hosted email and really all you need is a help desk to all of a sudden you've got 50 people with laptops and that's a thing, and then you're implementing a CRM and then you're implementing an ERP, and it just keeps exploding upward. These are all, again, don't want to attack complexity. Complexity it's a tool and it's a competitive moat. But it's also a trap for organizations that don't change, that don't upgrade their staff and their leadership team, that don't upgrade their processes. If you want to continue managing in a status quo manner, the way you managed a $10 million company is subpar for how you would manage a $20 million company. It's absolutely wrong for how you would manage a $40 million company. It's going to kill you if you're an $80 million company and you're still in that $10 million company mindset. That is why you often see a lot of churn in management teams as they hit that next step in complexity. That step function is often a signal that it's time to upgrade the team. It's time to upgrade the process. If you got surprised by the step, it's absolutely time. What you want to do is you want to keep anticipating. I know there's another step coming. I'm going to continue reinventing myself. I'm going to continue improving my financial performance so that I've got the right metrics dashboards, so that I am doing the right forecasting so I don't get surprised by next quarter's numbers. I'm going to continue with my strategic planning so that I've got a rolling 12-month view on what's around the corner, and I've got a rolling 5-year plan. I'm going to continue reinventing my sales and marketing so that I'm always ahead of the curve, so that I'm not the slide rule company that didn't see calculators coming. Key points. Sustainable growth is all about planning. It starts with a vision, but it must progress to how are we going to measure that? A growth plan that doesn't end in monthly or at least quarterly financial and operational variance analysis is a growth plan that is doomed. You've got to get to a point where you say, this is where we're going, this is why we're going there, this is how we're going to measure it. All growth is not created equally. You want growth that makes you better. Growth that makes you weaker will kill you if you keep doubling down on it. A good growth plan is going to address your funding needs. This is not an area where companies can put their head in the sand. Understanding there is a cost to growth. If you don't know what the cost is, you need to do some digging. You need advisory support. But there is a cost to any kind of growth. Understanding, appreciating, and figuring out how you're going to fund that cost is going to be crucial to making it happen. There's nothing wrong with saying I'm a $20 million company now, I want to be a $100 million company. How long is it going to take to get there? What do you need to do to get there? That's the difference between having kind of a back of the envelope plan and a real robust plan that's sustainable and achievable. And then prepare for change. Growth is going to bring increasing complexity. You're going to need new partnerships. You're going to need new reporting, and you're probably going to change your leadership team at some point. Not necessarily everyone, but there's going to be churn. There's going to be the process of reinvention, and that's okay. That's natural.
Could you give an example of a company that was hurt by growth, or a case history?
Oh, absolutely. In 2012, I was brought on as an interim manager to work with a home remodeling company. And in 2012, the recovery, especially in the home remodeling industry, was still a little shaky. We didn't know that we had this much longer to go. And the pain of the recession was still fresh in everyone's mind. This business had figured out a multi-channel marketing strategy that was absolutely fantastic at making the phones ring. They had built a machine. They knew how to get leads, they knew how to sit those leads, and they sold once they got in front of people. They were very good at that. They went from 7 million in revenue in 2009 to about 17.5 in 2011. And then the wheels fell off. And the reason the wheels fell off was that the cost structure that had built up over that time was so much at odds with the underlying profitability of the business that, unfortunately, the owner had just spent himself into a hole and didn't realize it. So when I got brought in the end of April in 2012, the owner told me, I'm in trouble right now because we hit about 17.5 million in sales last year, and I think if we had hit 20, we'd be fine. And I'm learning, so I'm taking notes, but sometime that summer, I pointed out to him, I said, you know what, you said it was 20, and I'm not pointing fingers, but the number was actually 30. And the fact that you were that far off is why we're here right now. Unfortunately, that company was so far gone, that company liquidated. And I was there the day we turned off the lights. We had some private equity interest, but everything was so underwater and it was so far gone that there was not. To me, that stands out as the most vivid example in my professional experience of just rock star marketing gone awry. They just grew themselves right off the cliff.